So Rasulullah ﷺ said about Sha'Ban, he said, this is a month that people do not pay attention to. This is a month that people neglect, that comes between Rajab and Ramadan. And in Sha'Ban, the deeds of people are presented to Allah. And I would love my deeds, I'd love to be fasting when my deeds are being presented to Allah Azza wa Jal. So we have few things in this hadith. Number one, that Rasulullah ﷺ used to fast a lot. So if you're asking what is the most thing we should do in this month, fast. And we're going to have another hadith that supports that fasting in Sha'ban is a habit of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. My dear beloved respected brothers and sisters, I ask Allah Azza wa Jal to make me and you from the people who listen and apply. In few days, the month of Sha'ban will start. And we all know that right after that, the guest that we wait for the whole year will start, and that is the month of Ramadan. Is there anything special about the month of Sha'ban? Is there anything we should do in this month? Is there anything that we should stay away from this month? Inshallah ta'ala, this will be our short discussion today, bi'idhnillah ta'ala. Usama bin Zayd radiyallahu anh, he said, Ya Rasulullah, I did not see you fasting in a month as much as I see you fasting in the month of Sha'ban. So Rasulullah ﷺ said about Sha'ban, he said, this is a month that people do not pay attention to. This is a month that people neglect, that comes between Rajab and Ramadan. And in Sha'ban, the deeds of people are presented to Allah. And I would love my deeds, I'd love to be fasting when my deeds are being presented to Allah Azza wa Jal. So we have few things in this hadith. Number one, that Rasulullah ﷺ used to fast a lot. So if you're asking what is the most thing we should do in this month, fast. And we're going to have another hadith that supports that fasting in Sha'ban is a habit of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Second, as if Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam is telling us, Ya believer, oh mu'min, Ya believer, many people are neglecting this month. You believer, make sure you do a lot of things in this month, a lot of a'mal in this month, a lot of ibadat in this month. Do not be from the ghafilin, do not be from the heedless ones, because this is a month that comes between a Muharram month, a sacred month, and the month of Ramadan. People are busy with things, so they neglect it. They do not do as much in it. So you, the believer, wake up and do extra. Extra what? Fasting, number one. Rasulullah ﷺ used to fast a lot in this month. Why, Ya Rasulullah, which is number three? Because this is a amal. This is a month that the a'mal are presented to Allah. My brothers and sisters, the a'mal are presented to Allah daily, weekly, and yearly. Daily, according to the hadith, after Fajr and after Asr, or at Fajr and an Asr, the angels come and present the a'mal to Allah. Weekly, the hadith said every Monday and Thursday. Today is Thursday, and tonight my a'mal and your a'mal are presented to Allah Azza wa Jal. That's why we fast Monday and Thursday. And yearly, in the month of Sha'ban, the whole year of a'mal, the a'mal that were not, or the sins that were not forgiven daily, the sins that were not forgiven weekly, this is the time they will be presented to Allah, and we beg Allah to forgive all these sins. So Rasulullah ﷺ, it looks like in many ahadith, he have said that I would love when the a'mal are presented for me to be fasting. So how much did he fast in the month of Sha'ban? Aisha radiallahu anha, she said that I've never seen Rasulullah ﷺ fast a whole month except the month of Ramadan. And I did not see him fasting in any month more than in the month of Sha'ban. Hadith is in Bukhari. So he fasted a lot in the month of Sha'ban. In another narration, it was said that Rasulullah ﷺ has fasted all of it. All of it. Here, all of it, because we know that according to this hadith, Rasulullah ﷺ never fasted the whole month except Ramadan. So all of it is, that means most of it. Most of that month, Rasulullah ﷺ fasted. So let's make an intention, and especially this year, Sha'ban is coming in a month that is the days are very short. Let's make a promise that, Ya Allah, I inshallah, if you kept me alive to witness the month of Sha'ban, I am going to fast Monday and Thursday, 3 more days, for extra fast than I usually do. Okay? Plus, Sha'ban, because it's right before Ramadan, it makes a lot of sense to start training myself for this great month of Ramadan. If I go to Ramadan without any fasting, prior fasting since 11 months, if I go to Ramadan, I have not touched the Quran in 11 months, if I go to Ramadan and I've not performed Qiyam for 11 months, I'm going to be overwhelmed. And that's why many people, the first week, they get exhausted, tired, and they stop or they cut down. So I'm going to be different. I will start training myself, just like if I have a marathon, just like if I have a major test, I prepare myself. I don't go to the test without any preparation, just studying one night before. So similarly, I'm going to train my body for fasting, train my body for Qiyam, start reading the Quran as much as I can. As a matter of fact, they used to call the month of Sha'ban Shahr al-Qurra, the month of the people who read the Quran abundantly. It is a form of preparation for the month of Sha'ban and for the month of Ramadan. And especially, Akhwan, we all know, my brothers and sisters, that one of the most sincere acts of worship is fasting. I might see you pray, I might see you just came back from Hajj, I might see you donate, but if I look at you, I have no clue if you're fasting or not. And especially in the days where fasting is not an obligation. Any fasting out of Ramadan is not an obligation unless you are making up the fast of Ramadan. So now fasting in Sha'ban is more rewarding because you don't have to fast. It's not a must. And you're still doing it to get close to Allah Azza wa Jal. So it's more rewarding. It's more sincere. Nobody knows that you're fasting. Nobody goes around and say, oh, do you know that I'm fasting today? Or I'm so tired. Why are you tired? Oh, because I'm fasting. Nobody does that. We're supposed to hide our ibadat as much as we can. Now, a very common question in this month. Is there anything special about the 15th of Sha'ban? Now, many scholars, the majority of scholars said that most, if not all, the ahadith about the virtues of that night are either weak or fabricated. They said that there's no sahih hadith about the virtue of the night of the 15th night of Sha'ban. Some scholars have made just one hadith sahih or hasan, and that is the hadith that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, narrated by Abu Musa al-Ash'ari, Allah looks down on the night of the 15th of Sha'ban and forgive all his creation except 2 people, the mushrik and the one who have enmity towards other Muslims. Some scholars said that this hadith is hasan, but we all know that Allah descends every single night in the last third of the night, that is every night, not only in the night of Sha'ban, in a way that befits His Majesty. And he asked, who wants to be forgiven so I can forgive him? So, assuming that this hadith is authentic, we have to make sure that before that night comes, we are clean, we are have mended our relationships with the people that are close to us. What does that mean? Do not get into the middle of Sha'ban and you have enmity towards the people that are close to you, and towards any other Muslim. You might have a problem with someone, just for the sake of Allah, just for the sake to be forgiven on that night. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. May Allah bless me and you and give us the ability to witness the month of Ramadan. Allahumma ballighna Ramadan. You don't have to become best friends, but at least you have shown, you are the one who started the salam, and you send that message and you showed that person, I have no enmity towards you. I'm doing it for the sake of Allah. Maybe that person does not even deserve a salam, but for the sake of Allah, we are ready to give up anything. Okay, so the majority of the ulama said that there are no authentic hadith about that virtue of the 15th of Sha'ban, and some said that only this hadith. So there are no special qiyam on that night. That's for sure. No special qiyam on that night. There's no special fasting on that day. Some people single out the 15th of Sha'ban to fast. If you are from the people who fast 3 days of every month, the 3 white days, 13, 14, 15 of the Islamic month, Bismillah, and you fasted it, Allahu Akbar, there's nothing wrong with that. But to single out, I'm going to fast this because it is good to fast this month, this day, there's this kind of virtue, there's no authentic narration that says there's a special virtue for fasting the middle of Sha'ban. Again, I repeat, if you are from the people who usually fast, Bismillah, go ahead and fast. There's nothing wrong with that. Many people, again, these are now the don'ts, start distributing food on that night, distributing sweets on that night, specifically, and they call them certain names and stuff. There's nothing authentic in the Sunnah that we have to distribute food on that night. There's nothing in the Sunnah that says that on that night all our future is decreed. That is mentioned in the Laylatul Qadr, not on this night. That's the majority of the scholars. So, my brothers and sisters, let's welcome the month of Sha'ban with the plan that we are going to do as much as we can so we can be ready for the month of Ramadan. Remember what we said last time about Rajab? Rajab is the month of planting, Sha'ban is the month of watering, and Ramadan is the month of harvest. So let's water everything we did in Rajab. Let's start our a'mal, acts of worship in Sha'ban with the hope that they will stay and strengthen our iman and our acts of worship in Ramadan. Start it now in Sha'ban bi'idhnillah ta'ala, hoping that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will accept from all of us. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allahumma ballighna Ramadan. Allahumma ballighna Ramadan. I'm going to give you a homework. Every day, every night, till Ramadan, please beg Allah with this dua, Allahumma ballighna Ramadan. Ya Allah, keep me alive to witness the month of Ramadan. And Ya Allah, in Ramadan, make me from the people who are truly fasting. Make me from the people who are performing tahajjud. Make me from the people who are reading Quran. Make me from the people whom you, Ya Allah, have decreed that their neck is saved from the hellfire. اللهم بلغنا رمضان واجعلنا فيه من عتقائك من النار واجعلنا فيه من الصائمين والقائمين والمقبولين آمين يا رب العالمين. I love you all for the sake of Allah. سبحانك اللهم بحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك.